This week on Ebert and Roeper, Susan Sarandon sets a bad example for her struggling son in Igby Goes Down.
Also, Tom Green lends Jason Lee a helping hand in stealing Harvard.
And Ice Cube and Cedric the Entertainer do more than cut hair in Barbershop.
I got it, man. I got it, man. I got it.
Jimmy, what you doing? Shh. Got that little boy sitting over there looking like a leopard. You need to cut little spots all around and have a little, look at it.
Ice Cube and Cedric the Entertainer are cutting hair and cutting up in Barbershop. It's one of 6 new movies we'll be reviewing this week. I'm Richard Roeper.
And I'm Roger Ebert. Our first movie is Stealing Harvard, and it stars Tom Green and Jason Lee as 2 doofuses who take desperate measures to raise money to send Lee's niece to Harvard. Lee plays a store manager who's engaged to the boss's daughter, but his niece, played by Tammy Blanchard, lives in a trailer with his super slut sister, Megan Mullally. When the niece is accepted to Harvard, he's stuck with an old promise to pay her tuition.
I bet you're sorry you made that promise.
What promise?
And that old home video comes back to haunt him.
I'm never going to go into college now.
Yes, you will. I guarantee it. You get into college, and I'll pay for it.
How to raise the money? The Tom Green character suggests a stick-up.
Wait, I want to change. I want to be Steve.
I'm Steve. You're Carl.
Kyle!
I don't care. I just want to go in there and do this.
Kyle!
The stick-up is a complete fiasco, and then Lee's sympathetic fiancée, played by Leslie Mann, suggests stealing from her own dad.
Smash a window and make it look like someone broke in.
Smash a window. Think I'm a little busy here, guys.
Stealing Harvard has all the moves of a light comedy, but none of the energy and daring. It's pleasant, meaningless, middle-of-the-road sitcom material, and dead in the water. Tom Green's previous film, Freddie Got Fingered, was hated by many, including both of us, but at least it tried. Sure, it went over the top and under the bottom, and yes, it was reprehensible, and yes, it was a complete mess, but hey, at least it was an ambitious mess, and the sad thing about Stealing Harvard is that it sleepwalks through a routine and predictable plot, getting no big laughs and taking no big chances. Here's a movie in desperate need of an edge.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This movie is not interesting enough to loathe, but it's pretty terrible. And Tom Green, there's no reason for Tom Green. You know, he's one of these guys like Pauly Shore who creates this TV persona and then gets a couple of movies, and then the movies usually spit these guys back out into oblivion. And I hope that happens soon, because every time I see this guy on screen, I know that he's just going to repeat himself and do wacky things and try too hard, and he's not funny. And the plot, we don't care about the niece, we don't care about the sister. There's nobody really to root for.
Okay, now I'm going to say a word in defense of Tom Green.
All right,
I mean, because
great.
we have levels, various levels of achievement here.
Okay.
And if Pauly Shore is here,
yeah,
Tom Green is here.
All right, I'll give you that. I'd actually say if Pauly Shore is here, Tom Green can go over there, but I get what you're saying. And, you know, I laughed about once every 20 minutes here, but that's certainly not enough to recommend this movie.
It's really a limp movie. I mean, I just sat there indifferently.
Yeah, it's bland, and that's the worst thing a comedy can be. Okay, our next movie is Swimming, starring Lauren Ambrose of HBO's 6 Feet Under. She plays Frankie here, the kind of girl you see every day in school, but whose name you can't remember when you bump into her on summer break. Frankie and her uptight older brother run a diner in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, catering to a crowd of semi-colorful locals and more upscale tourists. Her best friend, Nicola, played by Jennifer Dundas Lowe, runs a piercing parlor.
I got an idea. Let me pierce you. Free for my friends.
Thanks. Sure you'd love to cause me pain, though.
Then flatter yourself. I love to cause anyone pain.
And that's Joelle Carter as Josie, the new bombshell in town.
Come on.
But not even the relatively sophisticated Josie can erase the lifelong bond between Frankie and Nicola. When Nicola needs to be bailed out of jail, Frankie stands up to her tight-fisted brother.
Frankie, you walk out of here with that money?
What, are you going to fire me, Neil? Tell you what, Neil, you're fired. I fire you. You hear that? Huh?
Like Ghost World and Me Without You and Rain and Lost and Delirious and the upcoming Blue Car, among others, Swimming is a coming-of-age story about an offbeat teenage girl trying to break free from her stifling world. It's been done before, and I think to better effect. Ambrose is a fine young actress, and the script has kind of an authentic feel, but Frankie is surrounded by stiffs and jerks. Her brother is mean, her best friend is a boorish tramp, and even Josie is transparently manipulative. That wouldn't be so bad if they all didn't commit the unpardonable sin of also not being very interesting, so I give this thumbs down.
Oh, I really like this movie, and I think Josie is interesting because her whole game is to seduce people just to see if she can.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about Lauren Ambrose is she doesn't fall for it. A lot of this movie is basically about Lauren Ambrose's face in close-up as she looks at her choices in life and keeps her own counsel and decides what's going to happen next. And she has a choice, for example, between that guy who does the tie-dyeing and lives in the van. Is she going to be loyal to her friend? Is she going to be seduced by this new guy? Is she going to stand up to her brother? This is the summer when all of these things are going to be decided, and she is so appealing as she decides them.
She is an appealing actress. I just don't think it's that appealing of a situation or that interesting of a situation. And the supporting characters feel like they're all placed there to move the story along. Let's have the wacky guy in the van. Let's have the seductress,
supporting characters
the
are
uptight
always
brother.
put there to move the story along.
No, but they don't seem to be one with the rest of the town. The town has kind of an authentic feel, but each one of these people stand out and everybody else is in the background, and it just seems manufactured to me and
obviously, if
artificial.
she lives on the boardwalk and operates a business there next to the piercing parlor, she's not going to be associating with the ordinary people in town.
Well, I think
she's going to be picking out the boardwalk people as her associates.
Well, I like her. I just don't like the film enough to recommend.
Okay, coming up later with Ice Cube and Cedric the Entertainer cutting hair and trying to save the barbershop.
Do I look like my father? Yeah?
Yeah, you do, man.
Pretty much, in the nose.
And coming up next, 6 of the best new titles on home video.
Ebert and Roeper's Thumbs Up Video is brought to you by Nestle Raisinets. At the movies or at home, Raisinets.
This is Alec Guinness, and this is Alec Guinness, and this is Alec Guinness, and this is Alec Guinness. In the early 1950s, the Ealing studio outside London was the home of a remarkable golden age of British comedies that were hits all over the world, and Guinness starred in a lot of the best ones. They're my Thumbs Up video selection this week. In Kind Hearts and Coronets, Dennis Price plays a disinherited son who vows to inherit a title by murdering all of the family members who are ahead of him in line, and Alec Guinness plays every member of the family.
I shot an arrow in the air. She fell to earth in Berkeley Square.
In the Lavender Hill Mob, Guinness plays a meek bank clerk who comes up with a cockeyed scheme to steal the bank's gold by melting it down into Eiffel Towers and shipping them to France. In The Lady Killers, Guinness is the smooth-talking leader of a gang of crooks who take over a rooming house in London and convince their elderly landlady that they're respectable musicians.
You didn't tell me the truth about yourself and these other gentlemen.
And in The Man in the White Suit, Guinness plays a man who invents an indestructible fabric and threatens to topple the British clothing industry.
You don't you understand? They want to stop it. So do we.
All 4 pictures have been newly restored and released for the first time on DVD, and Kind Hearts and Coronets is my current great movie essay at the Sun-Times website.
Also new on video, The Rookie, with Dennis Quaid playing an aging high school coach who rediscovers his fastball and makes one last try for the bigs. This is that rare G-rated live-action film that doesn't sacrifice quality for sweetness.
Last time I checked, scouts aren't looking for high school science teachers.
Well, not many science teachers. Throw like you.
On the other end of the spectrum is The Salton Sea, with Val Kilmer giving a mesmerizing performance as a crystal meth addict who scrapes out a living as a police informant. He's become a shell of himself since his wife's murder.
For a solid year, you're nothing without me. Over and over and over again. And you're just going to cut me loose?
The Salton Sea also features the loopiest and scariest villain of the year, Vincent D'Onofrio, as a drugged-out freak who has literally snorted his own nose off.
You know, D'Onofrio is just amazing there in that scene where he reenacts the Kennedy assassination with toy cars. Unbelievable. Coming up later, Cedric the Entertainer holds court in Barbershop.
We can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight?
And coming up next, Susan Sarandon's family has trouble coping, to say the least, in Igby Goes Down.
My son hates me.
That's always been one of his favorite topics of conversation.
Liar, you liar, how dare you? And where were you when your brother was flunking out of school?
I was in college. Igby is not my fault.
Susan Sarandon is a perpetually medicated mother, and Ryan Phillippe and Kieran Culkin are her deeply resentful sons in Igby Goes Down. Writer-director Burr Steers has fashioned a brutally funny, pitch-black dark comedy about a highly dysfunctional group of privileged New Yorkers. These guys make the Royal Tenenbaums look like the Osmonds. Culkin plays 17-year-old Igby, who's such a smart aleck that even his psychiatrist can't resist slapping him upside the head.
Turtle. He was my best buddy.
Then his rifle backfired and blew his face off. We all learned a valuable lesson about weapon maintenance that day.
Jeff Goldblum is Igby's wealthy and eccentric godfather. The richly talented cast also includes Amanda Peet as Goldblum's protege.
Really, I think you're great. I really do.
Thank you.
It's him bringing you here that tortures me. I love the fact that the captain of the morality team invites his chick to the same party as his wife.
Perhaps the only sane character in the film is Bennington College student Sookie Saperstein, played by Claire Danes.
You're funny. Instead of saying that someone or something is funny, why don't you just laugh?
Is that better?
Much.
With his poor little rich boy Holden Caulfield routine, Igby isn't easy to love. For a while, I was identifying more with the parade of characters, from his schoolmates to Goldblum to Pete, who actually resort to pummeling him. But the emotional abuse Igby endures is worse. He's the product of an extended family crippled by mental illness. His mother is a cruel ice queen. His father, seen mostly in flashback scenes and played by Bill Pullman, is a schizophrenic. And his godfather and older brother aren't much healthier. Given what he's been through, Igby is almost likable, and Igby Goes Down is an original and biting piece of work.
Yes, it is. And, you know, Kieran Culkin is interesting here because we have come to believe that the Culkin family is just kind of an interchangeable series of cute little child actors. And it's not fair because Kieran Culkin here really does emerge as an actor who really does have edge, and he attacks this character and he makes him real and makes him original and makes him unique. And at the same time, I think Ryan Phillippe is very good as his supercilious older brother, who's always putting him down, correcting him, and trying to undermine his self-confidence.
Well, everybody is really good here, and they have these strange little tangents they go on. At first you see Jeff Goldblum's character, and you're like, okay, he's the good guy, he's the godfather, he's the benefactor. He's nuts, too. I mean, so there's a lot of laughs, and then there's some really sad stuff, and Kieran Culkin really shines here and is vulnerable, and that's why I came to really kind of root for him in this movie.
There you go. Our next movie is quite simply a masterpiece. It's Spirited Away, the amazing new animated feature by Hayao Miyazaki of Japan, who is considered even by the Disney animators to be the master of animation. The movie tells the story of Chihiro, a girl of 10 who's on a trip with her parents when they take a detour in what her father thinks is a theme park. But Chihiro, separated from her parents, begins to see ghostly shapes. Her journey leads her to a mysterious bathhouse where in the boiler room she meets a unique and unforgettable many-legged man named Kamaji.
She said she wants to work here, but I've got all the help I need. Will you take her to see Yubaba? She's a tough little girl. I think she can handle it.
The bathhouse is ruled by a sorceress named Yubaba.
Why in the world do you think I should give you a job?
Spirited Away is filled with exciting images and colorful creatures, so rich and inventive that although children will love it, adults may love it more. It won the Japanese Oscar as Best Film. It won the Berlin Film Festival. It outgrows Titanic to become the most popular film in Japanese history. The soundtrack for the American version has been supervised by John Lasseter, director of the Toy Story movies, and this is one of the year's best films.
It's an amazing piece of work, and you know, it's as if every child in Japan did a drawing and they put all these characters into a movie. The giant baby, and there's people with 6 arms and spirits and creatures coming out of other creatures. You couldn't do this movie if it wasn't animated. You'd have to have a budget of $1 billion, and it's beautiful to look at, and it's scary, and it's weird, but it's sweet. It's just it's a wonderful, astonishing piece of work.
You know, I met Miyazaki at the Toronto Film Festival when he had Princess Mononoke up there, and he said that would be his last film because he does a lot of the animation himself. It's not all done on computers. There's a lot of drawing that goes into these movies. And then apparently he went back to Japan, and he ran into the 10-year-old daughter of a friend and was interested in the fact that she seemed kind of indifferent to her parents, kind of lived in a world of her own. And that gave him the idea for this movie where this girl drifts away from her parents and then has to find her way back again and question her own values. And it's just a visual feast. It's just one frame and scene and character and invention and an image after another.
Well, it's the world's good fortune that he made this movie.
Yes, it is.
Okay, our next movie is Barbershop, and this is a flat-out hilarious ensemble comedy that probably made me laugh out loud more than any other movie this year. Ice Cube heads a lively cast as Calvin, whose late father ran a barbershop on the south side of Chicago for 40 years. Now Calvin owns the place, but dreams about having a recording studio or some other really lucrative business. Meanwhile, he presides over a daily circus of squabbling.
Oh, y'all don't hear me?
Huh?
Huh? Who drank my apple juice?
Oh, Terry. Stop cussing. This ain't Def Comedy Jam.
That's the rapper Eve as Terry, and she's quite good. But Cedric the Entertainer steals the movie as Eddie, a veteran barber who has a unique way of slicing through all the BS.
There's three things that black people need to tell the truth about.
What?
One, Rodney King should have got a beat for driving drunk and being grown in a Hyundai. Two, O.J. did it. And three, Rosa Parks ain't do nothing but sit her black. That's right,
There's a formulaic plot about Calvin selling the shop to a loan shark, and we get some slapstick hijinks involving the theft of an ATM machine. That stuff's okay, but it's the barbershop exchanges that make this movie sing.
And then I was here in '77 when Walter Payton came in here the day after he had rushed for 275 yards against Minnesota, and I lined them up right here in this chair, and there go the picture to prove it.
The screenwriters have created funny and smart characters that transcend stereotypes, and director Tim Story makes us feel as if we're sitting right there, eavesdropping on the free-flowing conversation. I love the spirit and the humor and the humanity of Barbershop.
Yeah, I was smiling all the way through it. It really made me feel good. And you're right that the stuff about the ATM machine and the loan shark is dispensable. In fact, the plot itself impedes the forward progress of the film, because all we really want to do is just sit there in that barbershop and listen to those guys talk and get to know them better. And I guess there's going to be a Barbershop 2. I mean, this is apparently...
They're already talking about that. There's good buzz
well
on this.
enough. They're going to make a sequel. And if they make a sequel, I say no plot, all talk.
Just back in the barbershop. I do want people to see this movie. I don't want people to think of this and say, oh, this is a black film about a black experience. It's a film about people. It should be the kind of movie like My Big Fat Greek Wedding that really gets buzz and critical word of mouth and people talking about it, because it's just funny, and funny is hard to do. And when I laugh out loud, I truly appreciate that.
It's by the same producers who made Soul Food.
Right.
And it's got some of the same spirit, the spirit of loving these people and really seeing them and caring about them. And Cedric the Entertainer's great speech, which we saw a clip of, I think it got the biggest laugh I've ever heard in our Chicago screening room.
That'll just bring down the house.
Coming up next, the great Michel Piccoli stars as an actor near the end of his life in I'm Going Home. Michel Piccoli stars as a great French actor now nearing the end of his career in our next movie, I'm Going Home. What makes the movie particularly moving is that it was made by Manuel de Oliveira of Portugal, who at 93 is the oldest active director in the world and must be near the end of his own career. The movie follows the old man as he survives a tragic personal loss, takes joy in the company of his grandson, and then grows discouraged during the making of a film and simply walks off the set.
Je vais m'opposer.
Cut. That was John Malkovich playing the director. I'm Going Home is a slow, quiet, thoughtful movie and a touching one.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend the movie. I'm going to say that it also requires or almost demands patience of the viewer. It's not an easily accessible film. The first 15 minutes or so are particularly difficult to sit through in a lot of ways, because you're saying, okay, when is the movie itself going to start? But I am recommending it. Wonderful performances and beautiful camera work. There's several scenes shot through glass window panes, whether it's in a cafe or from the point of view of a store, that are almost like mime, kind of pantomime type stuff, and they're just beautiful, and the sound of the street just going on. And then there's another scene with Malkovich as the director where we just see him reacting to the actors and what's going on there, and how he's torn because he loves this great actor and respects him, but he's still the director and he's in charge of this film.
I also love the way that Piccoli takes delight in the small things of life. The same table in the same cafe every day, the same cup of coffee, the same newspaper, playing with his grandson. They have the little battery-powered cars and they're crashing into each other. Those little moments when you can tell that inside things are happening in his mind. He's deciding, maybe my career is over. Maybe it's time to quit.
And he's taking comfort in those small routines. Okay, looking ahead to next week's openings, we'll review Goldie Hawn and Susan Sarandon as aging groupies in The Banger Sisters.
It's just like, I'm freaking out here, man. I mean...
Okay, recapping this week's movies, 2 thumbs down for Stealing Harvard. We split on Swimming, 2 thumbs up for Igby Goes Down, 2 thumbs up for Spirited Away. It opens next week. 2 thumbs up for Barbershop, and 2 thumbs up for I'm Going Home.
So some good movies this week. Remember, you can hear all our recent reviews at ebertandroeper.tv and read us in print at suntimes.com. Next week, we'll be back with Heath Ledger and Wes Bentley in the swashbuckling British adventure, The Four Feathers. And until then, the balcony is closed.
You know that speech that Cedric the Entertainer gives? If a white character gave that in a movie, it would have a totally different effect.
Well, actually, it's because Cedric the Entertainer's character gives the speech, because I'm sure most of the guys in the barbershop don't agree with him, but he's got that irascible authority.
You can't beat the taste of a Quiznos oven-toasted sub made with the finest meats and cheeses. Try one today.
Toasty.
You've heard the news. Now read the true story of Todd Beamer, told by his wife Lisa. The complete story of Flight 93. Let's roll. On sale now.
At Motel6.com, you'll see this, and it'll save you more when you book online. Well, you got to click on it. We'll leave the light on for you.
She's your baby. That's why you serve her all-natural Tyson chicken with no additives and minimal processing. Tyson, it's what your family deserves.
Closed captioning for Ebert and Roeper is brought to you by...
Take a closer look at Meineke. You'll like what you see. Now with any lifetime muffler, get a free oil change. Meineke, you won't pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.